a new package today. As you can see from my dudes at AudioScape, I am very stoked to dig into this one. So let's see what's inside. Alright, fast forward about 2 weeks into the future. I've had this thing hooked up, had a chance to work it into a mix, try on some different sources, kind of become accustomed to its controls and what I kind of want to do with it. And I think it's settled in as a pretty solid drum compressor, specifically parallel drum bus comp. And I'm really digging it on this particular mix, so I want to walk you guys through some drums that I have on a project that I'm working on, what it sounds like going through that guy, and how we're utilizing it in context. So let's jump into the computer and let you check out the drums as the mix is right now with no parallel compression. So they sound a little like this. Pretty cool sound, kind of a rock deal, pretty natural, but there's not really that snap that's going to poke through other instruments in the mix for me right now. So that's kind of where this thing comes into play, and I want to show you guys how I'm using it. I've got a parallel bus set up right here on this send, and you can see that not everything is at unity. I've got snare and toms coming at full strength at unity. I've got the kick drum 5 decibels under that, and then the overheads and room 8 decibels under that, just to keep the cymbals from kind of crushing everything else. Really looking for snap on the hands, the snare and the tom, and a little bit on the kick. So if we listen to just that send by itself, it sounds like this. So cool, pretty dry, obviously. Let's leave this up and engage the compressor. And I kind of have it set where it is in the mix right now, so we'll start with where I think are the optimal settings for my purposes, but then we'll tweak from there so you guys can get an idea how it responds. Let's do it. So right off the bat, it sounds awesome. And the snap that this thing has is really unequaled. I compared it with a lot of plugins and options that I've used in the past that do sound good, but this thing just does it better or closer to what I'm looking for. And it couldn't be done in the box. I definitely tried. I mean, hardware is definitely not as convenient as a plugin that you can use 10 times across your mix and pulls up with your settings immediately. But for certain things, it is worth breaking out of the box, and for me anyway, this one is one of those. So let's get these going again. I'm going to crank up the compression, just drive a little harder into this input so you can hear it a little more, and then we'll mess with the side chain and attack and release settings so you can get a vibe for it. Let's do it. All right, first thing we'll do is open up that sidechain compressor, and you'll hear it, so rather turn off that sidechain compression, you'll really hear it grab that kick tons more. Right now I have it set at an 80 hertz high pass, so it's letting a good bit of that sub of the kick through without clamping down on it. But if you're looking for more attack or you want a tighter sound, then turn that off and you'll really hear it grab the kick a lot more. we open it up all the way to 200, not all the way, but almost all the way to 200, it'll almost let the kick pass through completely unaffected, but still grab that snare. Let's go back to 80, where it's just kind of grabbing the kick a bit. Alright, so I've got the attack at 3 o'clock now. It's not labeled with any kind of figures. Chris said that it was just impossible to measure, so you just use your ears, and that's what you should be doing anyway. But I'm at 3 o'clock now. If we go a little bit quicker on the attack, you can even get a slight amount more bite out of it, which could sound really cool, kind of like this. Or if you're looking for a little bit longer sustain, longer smack on those drums, you go to the slowest setting, which is still pretty quick, and you get this. And that's back at 3 o'clock, which I kind of like. The release is, obviously dependent on your material. I have it set at 9 o'clock now, which is almost the quickest. You can hit it a little bit harder, but I was just getting a little too much of the cymbal crush. So if we go to this fastest release, sounds like this. But it's kind of nice, really brings out those stick drags a lot. Or we can slow it down a bit. And really let it breathe between those hits. I kind of prefer the aggressive sound of a fast-ish release. So now you've kind of heard this thing in action. I'm going to drop the input a bit and listen to our original drum mix and kind of bring this guy in so you can see how it blends. So obviously those aren't level mass, but you can really feel the excitement it brings, just adding a lot more intensity to the drums. This guy was hitting hard, but that in itself is not enough to get drums punching above heavy guitars, heavy bass, a full rock or metal mix. This thing really just gives me that smack, which I'm constantly searching for ways to just get that perfect drum smack that just sounds so pleasing, so aggressive. And this does it in a beautiful yet strangely transparent way. Like it's not overbearing at all, even when we have a good amount of that blended in with the drum sound. So anyway, I really dig this thing so far. Chris and his team have done a really killer job. Not only that, they seem to be really great people to deal with so far. He's answered questions and even offered tips before I even got this thing in the mail. And I'm really excited to check out some more AudioScape stuff, and I suggest you guys do the same. So anyway, thanks for watching. Cheers.